As the economy contracts and many companies struggle to survive, the biggest tech companies are amassing wealth and influence in ways unseen in decades. American tech titans flew high before the coronavirus pandemic, making billions of dollars a year. Now, the upheaval has lifted them to new heights, putting the industry in a position to dominate American business in a way unseen since the days of railroads. You're watching YouTube channel. Let's get techie. In today's video, we will talk about the truth about big tech domination, which is evaluating a rally in technology and has a record high on Tuesday during this economic pandemic crushes. We'll discuss the stock of Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, Facebook, and other stocks in the S&P 500 category. So make sure to watch the video until the end. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, so you will not miss any future videos we upload. Well guys, the total worth of these 5 companies that covered the tech domination now constitutes 20% of the stock market. It seems like we've not seen such a level from any single industry in at least the past 70 years. You've probably heard all about how large tech companies like Google and Facebook control the internet, creating monopolies and making it impossible for small competitors to get ahead. But what does this actually mean? Are these claims based on fact, or just the ravings of angry tech startup founders who have no chance of competing with the big boys? The truth about big tech domination may not be as simple as you think, but it will help you make better financial decisions so you can compete and win against these tech giants. Let's talk about these tech giants one by one. Among them, the number one big tech domination is of Amazon. Amazon has bought everything. This online sales platform disrupted the traditional business of retail sellers and small businesses. Allegations that Amazon favors its own self-branded products over those of third-party sellers have emerged. In addition, shoppers may not realize how much data about their shopping behavior is shared with the company when they click buy on a product listing. Well, the big revealing truth is that, besides Amazon, other subsidiaries include DoubleClick, Google X, Calico, Waymo, self-driving car company, Nest Labs, Connected Home Division, DeepMind, Artificial Intelligence, and Verily Life Sciences, Healthcare Division. One thing most people don't know is that some of these companies are what are called moonshots, meaning they represent long shots, projects or technologies that aren't expected to generate any profit. The next famous and big giant of tech domination is Apple. Apple dominates phones. As a result of Apple's App Store policies, such as how search results are ranked, certain competing apps were excluded from the store, such as Spotify. Additionally, there have been questions about Apple's method for determining its share of in-app revenue. Critics say that Apple deducts as much as 30% from developers' cut and keeps it to itself, despite not contributing to any advertising or marketing costs. However, Google Play pays developers 85%. Apple is the world's most profitable company, and it owns the majority of its profits in smartphones and tablets. The company has nearly 25% of the smartphone market share and about 50% of the tablet market share. Apple has a strong product lineup with the iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, iPad Air 2, iPad Mini 3, and iPad Pro. And these products are just 3 examples of how it dominates the tech industry. It even went into smartwatches with its introduction to the watch on April 24th. The company is also dominating in music streaming services, with iTunes Music having 800 million subscribers. One thing that separates Apple from other companies, though, is that it doesn't have ads on its devices like Google does, for example. So if you want to use an ad-free experience, then the only option for you would be an Apple device. If you're looking for something cheaper than an iPhone, then go to the budget segment, where Apple offers more options for purchase than other manufacturers. COVID was the perfect positive storm for these guys, said Thomas Philippon, a professor of finance at New York University. Number 3. Facebook. U.S. federal trade regulators are focused on Facebook's acquisitive nature, specifically their FTC inquiry into whether the company made defensive acquisitions, Instagram and WhatsApp, in order to maintain its market dominance in the social networking realm. Despite Facebook's dominant position in the social networking realm, competition on the web, in general, is more intense than ever. Facebook is not the only social network in the mix, and it doesn't have total ownership of Instagram or WhatsApp. As we have discussed many times before, the current and future Facebook of the world is a platform business, meaning that Facebook can't build a business out of other companies' users. It simply doesn't have the infrastructure to offer its own social networking app on iOS, Android, Windows Phone, etc. Instead, Facebook competes for its users' time and attention, using all of the same techniques, but it's one of the big tech companies worldwide. Among the 5 most visited sites in the country, Google, Apple, Alphabet, Facebook, and Amazon show a deeper encroachment into American lives. So the 4th on our list is Google. In a report published by Statista, Google had 98% of desktop searches in 2018. That number falls to 89% when you include mobile searches. With many people using their phones to find what they are looking for, Google still dominates that platform as well with its Android operating system. With Google Maps and Gmail being 2 of the most widely used apps, it can be hard to escape these digital giants. The company manages more than 90% of global online searches, and growing concern has grown because it has begun directing people to its own services, such as Google Flights and Google Maps. Google Maps led the way in terms of app downloads in 2018, with 1.2 billion devices. So far, it's true. The European Union has already fined Google $5.1 billion in 2018 for abusing its dominant position in internet search, advertising, and mobile systems. Last but not the least, let's talk about the 5th big tech domination and its true reality: Alphabet. Alphabet owns more than 50 companies, including Android and YouTube, which provide services on mobile devices and computers, respectively. Alphabet is afraid that they can never be the #1 phone maker. The big truth about this big tech domination is they are really afraid of Apple. The search engine has no monopoly on the web, which is in fact open. But Google's domination is evident in its very exclusive, censorship-centered version of the internet, a structure that suppresses different voices and ideas. This issue is at the core of the latest threat to Google, a non-compete agreement with Oracle that's targeting Android. As a result of the Android lawsuit, Google could see its dominance challenged at the highest levels. This is a complicated situation with multiple accounts, but in essence, Google gets to keep a few keys to the internet, giving it all the power and control it could ever dream of, except in one area. So how can government control the influence of these big tech giants? Well, the first things is to break these companies into smaller ones. A second recommendation is to ask for these companies not to operate in adjacent industries to figure out the big tech domination. Finally, a presumptive prohibition against big tech mergers and acquisitions is recommended. Last but not least, the public's trust in the internet firms and the future they will impose has been severely shaken all across the world, including in the United States of America, Europe, and almost every other region of the planet. Employees in the IT industry are finally speaking up and breaking ranks. Even in a country like the United States, which was formerly resistant to change, lawmakers are becoming more active, which has led to an increasing number of legislative efforts. In addition, rocket fuel was thrown to this mix by the European Union, which came to a powerful political accord on the Digital Services Act. This piece of legislation is a courageous attempt to come to terms with the past. It is the first complete proclamation of a democratic digital future built on the legitimate authority of democratic rights and the rule of law. The DSA breaks through the sound barrier of the illusion of inevitability and invincibility that surveillance capitalism exudes. It makes the claim that democracy should be the home of digital technology. It implies that for the first time in the past 2 decades, There is optimism that the ideals of a self-governing demos could survive the 21st century. This hope comes as a result of the digital revolution. That's all for today's video, guys. What do you think of today's video? Tell us your views in the comment section. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. See you in the next video. Until then, best wishes.